Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Gameroom Discourse podcast. This is the first episode of our third annual Christmas week. Cannot believe it's the third one.
Yeah. Oh man.
Holy crap. Absolutely insane. But yeah, so to kick us off, we're going to do the first episode is going to be mods, the modding community, and, everything
Oh,
good
that's
about
great.
mods. And now,
I'm
Of
not
course, someone's
stopping.
gonna call me during. Don't stop! Don't stop! I'm not answering the call. Go.
I love that. All right. But so back where? Oh God, that completely threw
Mods.
off my. That's funny.
We're talking about
Got it.
We
mods.
haven't done this in a bit. We've been a little AFK with some life shit, guys.
Yep.
But unfortunately that happens. But we're back until further notice. Um, and we're doing good. We're all okay for right now. For right now.
For the most
Who
part.
knows what'll happen? Yeah. So here's how we're gonna do it this time. We're gonna release the 5 episodes. They're all gonna be about an hour or a little bit less. That is similar to the past two that we've done. That's not changing. However, we are going to be doing topics that are not necessarily single franchise based. The past couple years we've done a lot of singular franchises. We did Metroid, we did Pokemon, we did Mario, or Nintendo, we did Zelda, we did Sonic. This year we're going to try to make it a bit broader, a little bit more of a wider reach, and things that we could talk about in depth. We don't have to focus entirely on one franchise. I think that'll lead to some very quality conversations. Um, So the special this week, we will keep one secret because special, um, and I think it'll be exciting. The first 4 episodes are going to be mods, as you know, for today. We're going to do an episode on streaming, the impact it has on gaming as a whole. We're going to do conventions and like events and shows and whatnot for games, and we're also going to do the. Actually, we'll keep the last two hidden because I think they're both bangers. Um, but yeah, so those are gonna be the first three, and then the final two will be the good ones. Well, I mean, they're all gonna be good, but yeah. So James or Joey, whichever one. I usually throw it to James, but let's throw it to Joey first this time. Joey, mods. You're a big modding guy.
Yeah, for the most part.
What would you say is like? Do you have? Man, I feel like a fucking interviewer. I gotta stop talking like this. Um, I, podcast hosts. I'm not interviewing you. Well, like, because I only recently got into mods. Um, but I know you both have been doing it for a while.
Mhm.
Do you have any communities that you think are like bigger into modding that you could talk about that you are interested in?
Uh, I mean, I'm kind of on and off with modding these days.
Oh,
Most of the time it's just, oh hey, I look at my Steam library. I'm going to play a Steam game. Oh hey, look, there's a mod for Sonic Adventure 2 DX that brings it more closely to the Dreamcast game. Hey, that's pretty good. Or the first Sonic Adventure, or literally any others, and yeah, I just play whatever's the best version. Sometimes that's the modded version. Say
Yeah.
say there's
yeah,
like an N64 game or a PS1 game that
right.
runs like shit. I'll just mod it to make it
A
60
lot of the
FPS.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are a lot of mods to just bring it be usable. I mean, like speaking on Sonic, like Project
Yeah, I was
06
gonna say Project 06. Yeah,
Yes.
beat me
is
to
a
it. Go on.
pretty good one. I mean,
You wanna talk
Joe,
about it?
Joe, you've actually played it, but I've only seen gameplay of
Wait,
just
you've
like
played it?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, you gotta talk about it.
I mean, it's just
Oh,
Sonic
I
06
need to
just with
hear this.
it
it's
it's literally just Sonic 06 if they actually took the time to make everything work the way it was supposed to.
Playable Sonic 06.
Yes.
Imagine that.
Yeah,
Like it happens a
oh.
lot. It happens a lot when it comes to like mods in general. Like sometimes when a game is just like so like messed up, sometimes just players themselves can just
I was
actually
worried that
fix
it
the
wasn't
game
going to
for
be
them.
good.
Like the same thing like with Skyrim. Like that was a buggy mess for a lot of people. Like there was a lot of supportive mods that actually like helped it run. Like Project 06 too, though is probably like
Project 06.
he's probably like
So it is good.
I wouldn't really consider it a mod though. It's more like a ground up remake, like a fan remake.
Yeah, but at the same time, it is. You can't call it a remake,
I mean
or else it becomes legal. I think it
if
can
we're
go legal.
You
I
guys
mean,
cops.
do we want to do the thing of defining what a mod is, like I like to do, of just like
We can do
do it-
that. I'm
of
pretty sure we have different definitions, but we can do it.
not
Go
like
for it.
I'd say like it's something not made by the original creator using
Yeah,
the base game to either improve or change the game as it is.
yeah. So I would consider Project 06 more on the lines of a ROM hack
Hmm. Maybe it's still like yeah.
because it's doesn't it also change certain story elements?
Yeah, it adds some new cutscenes in, and
Yeah, I think I would consider it more of a ROM hack because it's the same game. So like I'll use a comparison of Fire Emblem. A lot of the GBA Fire Emblem games have a ludicrous amount of modded ROM hacks, and it's still the same art style, same sort of game, same usually same intro as well. And then you just change the character sprites and the dialogue, and sometimes they create their own maps if they're capable of doing so. Um, and I know that's definitely a ROM hack, and Project
I
06 is
mean,
not exactly that, but I would consider it to be more along the lines of a ROM hack than a remake because it it is still the same game, but it changes how some of it works.
I don't know. Like in that case, like there's a lot of mods that do like just overhaul so much stuff. Like back to Skyrim, like in the Fallout games for Bethesda, because I know like they actually have like a lot of support for the actual mods. I mean,
Mhm.
from game to game, depending on the game, I should say. In the sense of like they can overhaul how things work completely, and like you can still consider it a mod. It's something that you just add on. You don't really move
Right.
anything. Like you can add like a whole other skill tree for something, or like revamp how experience works.
I never got too into Skyrim. I know it's phenomenal, but I just wasn't born at the right time. I wasn't playing games like I am now at the right time.
I mean, it for me it worked fine on the Xbox 360. And I know it didn't work well for other people,
Mm.
and especially since I can't really mod it on the Xbox because that was the issue with during that time like Microsoft did not support it as well as a bunch of other things, but Microsoft like didn't support it as well. Like even though you could do it on it, even though you
Right.
can access it as well. Mostly the modding community for a long time was exclusively PC. Like you wouldn't
Yeah.
do it too
Yeah.
much
I'd agree.
on like PlayStation or anything else. I mean, like you could, but it was more popularized by PC community, and
Right.
you could do it a lot easier on there because you could access the actual files.
yep.
Yeah. I agree with you. I don't. I don't know. I think I think you put it perfectly in your first sentence. Is anything using assets by a game or from a game that is not published or made by the person who created the game.
I mean,
Like you're creating something using somebody else's game.
yeah. I mean, I was also going to talk about like ROM hacks before because I mean I not Fire Emblem ROM hacks, but like Pokemon ROM hacks because there's a
Yes,
lot of those, and that's been there for a long while.
Infinite Fusion.
There's Infinite Fusion. There's Pokemon Rocket Edition. You get to play as Team Rocket.
Origin
There's like
Platinum.
yeah, perfect Platinum. Actually, just better Pokemon Platinum.
Yes, yes. There's so many good ones.
I mean, ROM hacks basically themselves are just kind of mods, but like when it comes to ROM hacks, like, they're their own category at that point.
Yeah,
Yes,
Hmm.
I don't. Mostly because you would need a ROM to do it, so it's not really. Oh no, no, it's when it becomes a ROM, it's easier because you literally have access to all the files again, like on PC.
correct.
But
I wonder. I
yeah,
wonder because obviously the elephant in the room is the biggest modding community in gaming that we're ignoring for the first bit because we'll talk about it for the remainder of the episode. You both know what I'm talking about, whether or not you think you do or not. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
draw the blank. Spell it out for me.
No. Um,
Okay,
how about
understandable.
we will get to it. I promise. Um, it begins with an M. We will get to it. There is no way we would do a modding video and not talk about it. But I just want
I
to
mean,
clarify that we will do it. But it's going to take up a chunk of time, so I want to talk about the other communities first.
okay.
Um, I want to bring up Fire Emblem a little bit further because as a Fire Emblem fanatic, I who just got into emulation, um,
Mhm.
and I emulated all of the Japan only Fire Emblem games in English. Well, my sister did it for me, but they're on my laptop, and beat them all. And then I emulated Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn because they're redonkulously expensive, and I didn't feel like paying for it. And uh, played them and beat them. And now I'm playing the ROM hacks, and they're fucking awesome. Like it's literally just more Fire Emblem, which you couldn't ask for anything else
Yeah.
as a Fire Emblem fan. It's just more Fire Emblem, and they're so quality. And I think the quality, and I know I'm gonna piss some people off, but trust me, I'm a fanatic. I think the quality in a lot of the ROM hacks comes from the fact that they don't have to do much as far as building a game or building art or building an engine. Like a lot of it's already done for them. They just have to write a lot of text for dialogue, create a new story. None of this is easy. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm just saying compared to something
Yeah.
like Sonic,
Yeah.
compared to like a lot of
They're
it's already done for them. They just need to recolor certain sprites and
they're basically making fan. It's basically fan made DLC.
yeah, exactly. And nothing wrong with that. Like I said, these are phenomenal, and they take a lot of skill to do. I'm not shitting on that at all. I'm not saying it's easy to make these things. If it was, they'd be popping off. There's not to say there's not plenty, but if it was that easy, it'd be a lot more. But I think the point that I make is that you'll see a lot more in this community because there's less things that need to change to be successful with it. There's less work that has to get done, less like intricate work, I should say.
Yeah, you're basically adding on to a successful idea already.
Exactly.
I mean,
Whereas a lot of the Pokemon mods and something like Sonic Project 06, you really have to rebuild yourself.
or like when it comes to something like Friday Night Funkin'. I
Yeah, like
mean, you're gonna see like a lot of mods that came out over the past couple of years now. I mean, you make
yeah,
3 songs with varying sprites. I
exactly.
mean,
And it
like,
works. Yeah,
and you of course have to do some coding for a couple of
of
stuff and
course.
do some good
Yeah,
animating.
yeah.
But like, there's
No,
already
yeah,
the
we're not
base
saying it's
game
easy. It's
there.
just yeah, it's exactly.
You got the
It's already
blueprint, and
there.
plus other people that have modded before you to do it.
Yes, exactly. I think that is very important to point out as to why maybe your favorite franchise doesn't have a lot of mods, or maybe why others have more. Because there's, and a lot of it is, how do we put this without
Someone,
sounding cynical?
I
No,
mean,
companies don't like you modding their games.
not
Um,
all of them. Yeah,
a lot of them don't. They don't. A lot of them don't. I mean, none of them want you to make money off it, but a lot of them don't want to see it or want you to teach other people how to do it necessarily. Like, if you do it, fine. Not we can't always stop you, but like companies are weird about it. Um, it's hard for a lot of smaller games or games that are from AAA companies to get modded because they're either very protected or too small to change much of. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. I think that's a bad point to make, actually, now that I have thought more about it. I'm gonna take that back, actually. I'm just gonna redact that statement.
I mean, can I put my opinion on it?
Sure.
AAA companies have to abide by the market. They have to abide by money. They have to abide by limitations. People who are just
Yes.
in their house playing around with files of a finished game, or what should be a
Yeah.
finished game in some cases,
Yeah.
they have infinite time, infinite resources, because A, it's just a hobby for them. They could do it for however
Right.
long they want. They can polish it for however long they want. So,
Right.
Yeah, basically they can just come out. You have no idea that this person's probably working on this mod. Like they could have been working on it for a freaking year, but it basically just comes out new for you. Meanwhile, like
Exactly.
companies have to like keep a strict schedule of like, oh, we gotta release a new Call of Duty this year.
yep.
We gotta make sure this is like up to snuff to at least be released.
And if
Then
you
we gotta have a separate team to like work on the next one.
Yeah, and if you're always looking at the past, then there's not going to be many sales for the future. Because if you're constantly improving one game, guess what? That's only one game in repertoire that's able to sell however many copies. Because if a person has already bought it, they've already bought it. That's the one copy they have. Whereas if you work on more games or remaster the game, that's another copy that people can get.
Yeah, companies are mostly focused on keeping the status quo, while modders are just like, okay, let's try something new with this idea.
Yep.
With not with no risk, but like they're most likely not going to get paid for it, and they
Right.
can do this in their off time while also doing other things. This is mostly like either a hobby or a passion project.
Yep. They're only one
Correct.
person, so they kind of do have to worry about legal repercussions, but not really, because
I mean, there's some mods that are like collaborate. There's like a fair amount of mods that are collaborations, depending on which mods they are, what kind of game it is.
like mods for translations.
Yes,
Yeah. That's a good one.
of like, oh, we're just gonna add, you know, this game that's only been available in Japan. We're gonna add English, French, and Spanish.
Exactly.
We need someone that can.
This is your localized Mother 3 announcement. Localized Mother 3. Anyway, go back to the regular broadcast.
I mean,
Uh,
if we're gonna talk about Mother 3, there's other things we could talk about, but yeah, Mother 3 fan patch makes it in English, or Persona actually before 3. Like there's
yeah,
Persona 1, 2 part 1 and 2
Yeah,
part
nobody
2.
talks about those ones.
Hmm?
because it
Nobody ever
wasn't
talks about them.
localized. Because it really was.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. Okay. I'm not a big
Persona
Persona
3
guy.
was basically the first one we got in English.
I
Yeah.
like Persona 5, but other than that, I really don't.
It
I mean,
kind of
who
all
doesn't like
started with
Persona 5?
Shin Megami Tensei
Insane.
if Shin Megami Tensei took place in a high school, and then they brought it
Yeah,
over
is
to
Persona just a spin-off of Shin Megami Tensei?
Yes,
yes, that's more popular
Yeah.
than its original
because
material.
Which is wild.
well, it
Because
does
I like
well.
Shin Megami Tensei.
So going back to it, there's the PS1 version of Persona 1, 2 Part 1 and 2 Part 2. Those 3 separate games. Well, there's also the PSP ports. Guess what? One of Persona 2 part one of the Persona 2 parts is only in English on the PS1 version, and the other one is only in English on the PSP version.
Yep.
That's I don't like companies that are just not competent.
Atlas. It's another company that releases good games, but fuck it if you're going to be able to play them on the thing that you want to.
Yeah. Here's a game that we spent so long on just so that you can't play it.
Oh yeah, like the Persona 5 Chinese mobile game that's only in
Oh
China.
yeah,
Or
that
like
one.
Mother.
That's not
Oh,
Atlas.
Like they literally have Persona
I
5
know, but I
text
just feel
out
like
already too.
it was so hard. We can't play it. I mean, I illegally have the game in English, of course, because fuck Nintendo. But like,
But
release
do we
it.
want to go to everyone's Project
Everyone's
M?
favorite.
I was like, the one
Oh
we all
yeah,
can talk about. We can talk about Project M.
PM is so freaking good.
Hmm.
Uh,
It's the perfect
So,
middle
bro,
ground for people who are used to modern Smash and people who really
yep.
love the movement for Melee
yeah.
but hate the
Yes.
downsides. Because, oh my god, when
I
you go back to it,
yeah
every input, if you do it too early, guess what? It's not coming out.
yeah I know.
Yep,
I think I like PM Plus more than PM.
I
same.
mean, yeah,
They gave
more characters.
Charizard Thunder Punch,
Oh
Yeah,
man,
and they
man,
they
added Knuckles.
like yeah.
love
I
it.
like them because as a resident Ike lover, they make Ike not bad.
Exactly.
It's
So I'm
just
just like, oh,
better in
and I
my
get to
role.
play as the Black Knight. So it's like, oh, cool.
Yep.
And I mean, also the alternate costumes are just a lot better
Yeah,
in
I
Smash.
know.
It
It's
smashes
so great.
because I hate it when game companies do this. Like you just get alternate colors that are somewhat references,
Yeah,
and the others are just like, okay, hold on. What if we actually just gave them alternate costumes?
What if we made
yeah.
Pokemon skins that are the shinies? Haha, no.
What if we
That's a good
actually did
idea.
the? What if we actually did like the freaking Pokemon protagonists, the female and male protagonists for each gen? Nah, we're not gonna do it. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Huh. Those are. I didn't even think about that. I don't know
Mods
why
do
I
what
didn't,
Nintendo
but I,
don't. But the thing is, Nintendo is the worst company when it comes to anybody doing anything
it was.
somewhat
Yep.
different. Have you heard the story about Nintendo and Nuzlocke?
Oh my god.
Yes.
Yes,
No,
Nintendo
tell it.
hates anything that the fans like. Because if it's not
Nintendo
their
hates fun.
property, if it's not the way that it's intended, then
Yep.
guess what? Shut down. Legal action.
You can't stop me
See,
from playing
this
another. I
bit.
didn't change the game. All I'm doing
I
is playing
know.
it differently.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't even mod
So
or anything.
so
Hell,
dumb.
I even got the freaking setup thing to actually play off on my original DS Lite, so that way I could stream it onto my computer. You can't be mad at me. I'm doing everything by the rules.
Yep, I have the original copy.
I
That's
yeah. I'm interested to see how that would hold up in court.
Because they're like, yo, we don't like the Nuzlocke. And it's just like, why? It's just like, well, he's doing it illegally. Okay, what part of it is breaking the freaking rules? It's like, here they're changing the game. They're like, no, I didn't change any of it. I didn't. This is still the same way that it came out the box.
Yeah. I'm just playing by my own rules
yeah,
to make the game harder.
it's like when you
Like,
play an RPG and you skip all the battles because you want less EXP and lower level,
Yeah.
it's harder.
I'm just doing a
Yes.
self-imposed challenge. What, you're mad that I'm doing well and getting popular because I'm playing a game a certain way?
Yeah. Nintendo can bite me. I don't like them
They make
when it comes to
really,
corporate
really good
decisions.
games at times, and they have
Yeah.
really, really good IPs, but they have the most bass-ackward mindsets.
Yep. Baffling decisions. Yeah.
Yep,
Stupid, really.
It's
yep.
like
All right.
back
So,
back to
Minecraft.
Minecraft mods.
I told you we would get to it. Um, but the king of mods, the community king of modded content is without a doubt, hands down, Minecraft. There is a literal limitless amount of mods for that game, and you can literally just make your own
Yeah,
right now. You could go and do it. It's not that difficult.
Minecraft
Um,
like 100% supports it
uh
too, and
huh.
I mean like
Yep.
you have so much access to Minecraft files. It's actually baffling and makes it super easy
Yep.
Barely and
just to change
inconvenient.
like the how everything looks in the game to like how things work. If you got a good enough coding knowledge, you can like literally affect how the game is a freaking works,
I've
or
I've
just
played
add something new.
I've played multiple mods where it's just like, how is this even possible? Like the Aether mod, which is what the fuck? They added they added a whole heaven overworld. And then also this one's the smaller one, it just adds an item, but the portal gun in Minecraft. What the fuck?
I mean, that's not really you're doing teleportation in a game that doesn't have it originally. It's
Exactly,
basically
but it's just one item, which is
yeah,
considered small for Minecraft mod standards.
yeah, it is. It is. I
Yep.
mean, like you could add freaking guns in Minecraft, which I guess you could change the bow skin and everything, but no, it actually functions like it's an automatic weapon in the fucking game.
Yep.
There's also like the fact that like Minecraft, like basically like Minecraft, Mojang gets inspired by like creations too that are like from mods and like popular ones. I mean, like Skyblock was a really
Yep.
popular one
Yes.
that like basically is just a feature now on Minecraft. It's always
Yeah,
there
it's
now.
wild. I think, and then there's always those super hard mod packs like RLCraft or um. Hold on, let me pull them up. I have most of them downloaded.
I mean, my
Um,
favorite one is Technocraft. That one is like,
Technocraft is great.
yeah, where you get oil, get rubber, get like all these different resources, and then at the end you're alchemizing things to get energy to make items out of that energy and making like neuron stars and shit like that.
Mm.
Yep.
It
And there's,
is
I mean, there's Hexit, there's Techit, there's Ragnamod, the Atom, there's Valhelsia, RLCraft, All the Magic, Crazy
Just
Craft,
just
Reverb,
be just become Dragon Ball characters for a bit.
AZ, uh,
Hunger
fucking,
Games.
Yeah,
yep,
hungry.
Hunger Games, RPGs, The Betweenlands, Ozone, Dimensions, and Dungeoneering. There's fucking ultra hardcore. There's, you know, different open world kingdoms and quest lines. There's super hostile maps. There's C Block. There's Stone Block. There's the Aether. There's Twilight Forest. Fucking Better with Rats. Dig Site. Forge. Better Minecraft. Advent of Ascension. Exoria. All the mods. There's
Pokécraft.
a mod pack for all the mods.
Going back to Pokemon, there's a mod in Minecraft to make Pokemon.
Yeah, there is
Pixelmon.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pixelmon.
Ay, ay, ay. There's Texit, which is Hexit and Techit.
That just sounds like Brexit, but for Texas.
I mean, SevTech Ages. I mean,
I mean, there's also stuff that just like improves like the HUD and how everything looks
yep.
too. There's render mods as
Spacecraft.
well.
Having
Yeah,
waypoints,
there's
having maps, having like a
waypoints.
button that you can click for inventory
Yep.
management.
Yep.
Like mouse tweaks. What?
Yep.
Inventory
There's
tweaks.
an entire mod pack based on cake.
Actual how cooking actually works. Brewing 2.0. There's a
Yep.
lot.
It's entirely if you like something, Minecraft has it.
Literally, it's the thing of like, if you think of it, it exists as a Minecraft mod.
Yes, it does. Give me something.
Girlfriend.
Give me a
Hmm?
girlfriend.
Yeah, there's a girlfriend mod.
Yes, I know
Rent a
that.
girl. There's 3. Rent a girlfriend, custom GUI pack. I love my girlfriend. I made this for my girlfriend. Girlfriend mod.
Yep.
Give me
And
another one. Let's look up
Um,
Doctor Who. Why not? Doctor Who, The Weeping Angels, The One Who Watches, Doctor Who Regeneration, Doctor Who Cosmetics, K9 mod.
cooking mod.
There's
Give me the
cooking.
cooking mod.
Cooking for blockheads, applied cooking, refined cooking, immersive cooking. What else is there?
Let's see.
Multi-part machines for cooking, foods and plants, nomadic cooking.
jetpacks.
Better physics is also I know is one.
Yeah.
There's actually way too many.
I mean, there's different versions of the same sort of mods.
yeah. I mean, they're also like completely different too. Of like, there's like several kinds of industrial or tech, like
Yep.
tech-based Minecraft ones. There's
Tinker's
also like,
Construct, Mechanism, Simple Storage.
Solar
So many
panels.
things. Yep.
I mean, it's because it's been going around for a long time. I mean, it probably what is like was and is like the most accessible game to mod.
Yep.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, it's the most. Isn't it the most sold game?
Yeah, it is the #1 most sold game.
Yep.
So I mean, it makes sense that it has this mod. The biggest game that supports mods should have the most amount of mods. It makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there's also like other mods just I mean, no, there's already reverting in Minecraft, but there's also other stuff that's like, hey, you want to have this version of combat in this version of Minecraft as
Yep.
well.
And you know what's even crazier about the mods? You can go into mods that have already been made and add your own stuff to them.
Yep. Adding on
Just like,
top.
Yeah, I mean,
Or mix
it's
and match.
literally limitless.
yeah.
Yeah.
It is incredible. So, I think to finish this one off, do we have a favorite mod individually?
Super Metroid
Because my
Redux.
ooh, that's good.
Do I have a super? Do I have one? Ooh.
I think mine is either RL Craft or Project M Plus.
Mine, another one of mine is also Project Plus. It's just too good. You see me occasionally.
so
It's just
good.
like, oh hey, Joey's playing like Dolphin. He's playing Brawl.
Yep,
I'm not playing Brawl.
I'm not
Yeah.
playing Brawl.
It's
Brawl sucks.
yeah. There's also things like
Subspace is good
60 FPS patch mods for like
Yeah.
Pokemon.
There's too many for me to actually pick, honestly.
Fair enough.
But there's a lot that I do like them all. I mean, probably my favorite game mod would probably be Minecraft. But besides that, it would just be, I don't know. There's a
Fair.
lot. There's a lot of mods.
Yep.
That is very fair.
Mm.
One honorable mention is Mario 64 Star Road. There are a lot of Mario 64 ROM hacks.
Mm.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, there are. There's one where they ported only up into it.
That's awful.
Yes.
I know there's also Mario 64 with friends as well.
Yes. I saw people playing
Oh.
it with like Sonic and Kirby
Yes.
characters.
Yes, that's
That's great.
They literally ported Mario 64 to PC. They found the source code, or they like decompiled it and then recompiled it. So it's a
so
Windows executable.
so now people can actually access it and also fucking just
Yep.
Oh, that's kind of sick. I do remember when that happened. That's when I saw that video.
Actually, there's one type of category that I would want to consider or want to
What's that?
propose. Previous generation backwards compatibility, like quality of life improvement mods,
Mm.
like
Hmm.
Sonic Unleashed for the Xbox Series X being in 60 FPS.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me as someone who's always been a Nintendo fan game wise that how because as a Nintendo fan you just settle for lower FPS. Like you don't really care about it, or at least I haven't. But then you see games in like 1080p and 60 FPS, and you're like, wow, that looks awesome.
Try
And then you
biting the
go back to
bullet.
Nintendo.
Try sipping the tea that is 120 hertz or 144 hertz.
Yeah,
Smooth.
it's crazy.
And then you have to go back into PS3 games or Xbox 360 games where at most they're 30 FPS. I know because I've been trying to play Infamous and
Oh man, you poor soul.
yeah.
Infamous is a great game. It's just, after you're used to things that you can put your reaction time into a lot faster, even though it's slightly faster, it just feels worse.
Yeah.
That and health
Oh,
problems which cause nausea when playing those types of games.
Yes.
Like
We've literally
I used to
yeah.
I used to be fine
I've
with
just
every single stutter and every single like 30 FPS game, and now whenever I see it stutter, I'm just like, "Oh, my stomach."
why
I was talking to Joey before you got in the call, James, and
Mhm.
I would say that I had just emulated DK64 and I beat
Ah,
it. And holy crap, the amount of like times that camera made me want to throw up.
yeah. That that
Like
that happened.
that is like a universal thing with the N64 though. Is so a lot of the games are phenomenal. That's not I'm not shitting on that. However, universally with the N64, almost every game, no matter how good it is, has horrible camera controls.
Yep.
Even Mario 64 and Zelda, like it's just horrid
That's
camera.
why I don't have to worry about it in Pokemon Stadium.
Well,
There's
yeah,
no camera control.
You actually just reminded me of another mod. Like, you know how the best way to play Ocarina of Time is Ocarina of Time 3D?
Mhm.
debatable. But
I would
yes, okay.
yes, it is, no debate. Um
I think the 3DS is kid not a very powerful system.
Fine then emulated.
Um, yes, that I would agree.
Yes.
Emulated Ocarina of
If
Time
you can
3D.
get the Ocarina of Time 3D on a bigger screen, that's the definitive way to play it.
Yep. And when it comes to Majora's Mask 3D, it kind of works, but if
I
you
th-
go down the rabbit holes that I go down, then you know
yeah,
that yeah, they changed a couple things for the
yeah,
worse. But
exactly.
people actually made
I was gonna
mods to
say,
change it back.
ooh,
Yes.
the Zelda modding community is not one we talk about a lot or we hear about a lot because a lot of their games are just perfect or top quality. Zelda games, I've always said this, are a literal event. You can have fans of games, you can have great game franchises. Every Zelda game is an event.
Yep.
The announcement, the build up, the lead up, the hype, the the theories, the videos, it is an event that takes over the gaming community. And you know, it's hard to mod Zelda because a lot of mods are to add content or make something better. And when games like Zelda are very fine tuned and polished, it's almost pointless to make mods. But what people don't understand is that the Zelda modding community is huge,
Yep.
and it's not for the reasons that a lot of people expect with mods. A lot of their mods are randomizers or um, uh, difficulty mods or things like that. It's not necessarily mods that change the content in a significant way. It's just things that really just change difficulty spikes.
I mean,
And
there's some mods that I feel like the kind of
name
mods.
one.
Okay, I'm going
Name
to
one.
turn
I'm serious.
Ganondorf into Shrek,
That's a
and
thing.
that's it. Yeah, I
All right.
mean,
Well, there's
those are
also
just
just dumb
visual
people.
changes. Yeah, no, there's other stuff like that though that just happens, like having
Okay.
Scott that don't change anything like gameplay wise, but change it visually, like changing all the changing all the dragons in Skyrim to characters from Thomas the Tank Engine.
Sky. We're talking about Zelda.
Yeah, but I'm saying they do. I'm saying that's the kind of mod I'm talking about that can also be
Oh,
implemented in Zelda, like
I
something that
got
just
you. I think that
oh
the modding community with Zelda has really gotten like bigger. Joey mentioned this earlier, and I've been thinking about it ever since he said it, and I think he's completely right. The modding community for Zelda really took off into the limelight with Breath of the Wild. because there's a lot of things you can change with that game while also keeping the very successful formula.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we started to see a lot more like flavorful mods that like instead of just difficulty changes. There still are those, there's there's I forget the name of it. Um but there's difficulty mods because it's not a hard game. Um but with that one there are a lot more mods that you would expect it when you hear the word mod. Like there's a lot of, things that change things, appearances, like you know what I'm trying to say. And I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of that started, as Joey said earlier, I want to give him credit where credit is due, where with Breath of the Wild, because that game had a very perfect formula, except it was just kind of empty in parts. There was, this wide open world, and a lot of it wasn't getting used, and you know that paved the way for the creative minds of the gaming community to add their own cool stuff. And I think that's phenomenal.
It's free real
I mean, I
estate.
feel like there's some stuff you can add to Zelda. I mean, it would be hard for some of the ones I
Yeah,
would think of, but
yeah, exactly.
like
It's not needed.
I mean, it's not needed, but it adds flavor. What I would mention is like add voice acting to Zelda games that don't
Oh my
have it.
god, there should be, there should be.
Like like the old GBA ones, you could actually do like voice acting
Yep,
for that one too, or
that is such a
any of
good
the,
idea.
because like that's
I didn't even think
because
about that kind of
because
modding.
gaming doesn't do that too often. Like I mean, gaming does that like a lot of the times with silent protagonists or games that just do text.
Pokemon.
Especially when Zelda that has yeah, like Pokemon, where there's like no voice acting when it's like brought it over of just like okay, these characters just talk in speech bubbles,
I mean,
but
there's a
you
Yeah, can
Pokemon
we talk
game
only
about?
with voice acting. Pokemon Yellow.
so
Mhm.
so this is
Can
why
we talk about how awkward Pokemon looks like
yeah
nowadays without voice
yeah
acting?
Pokemon Yellow with freaking the Pika Pika and that's fucking it. And we get nothing else. But yeah, Pokemon does look weird when they're just like kind of talking and
Yeah,
like
because the
constant voice
sprites aren't
gaps,
like sprites now; they're like actual.
like
Like it
3D
just looks weird
models.
when yeah, when they throw their hands up and say "go" and it's just a speech bubble.
Yeah,
I'm just like, what the fuck is happening?
like I
This
mean,
is a joke.
they're of course doing that because they don't want to put that too much effort of like actually finding voice
Yeah, they
actors
don't
for
want to
the
put money.
characters. But
Support your voice actors and actresses.
Absolutely.
like as a modding community, they could do that. They could like
Oh
actually
yeah.
get people together to put like sound files for when people talk and putting those exact sound
Yep.
files in.
Now I can say nobody's going to do that, and I can say
Yeah,
that
because it's a lot of work.
100%. No, not even that, because they're going to get their asses sued because Nintendo hates fun.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, Nintendo hates fun, but I'd say like maybe even on games that
And even if they have no grounds to sue, the people that they sue won't have the grounds to get a lawyer. Like a lot of
yeah,
these people aren't the most wealthy. They're going
yeah,
to get sued out of existence by a corporate lawyer. And then they put all this work in for nothing. And even if they win the lawsuit or break even, they really didn't break even because now they're just afraid to do anything with it.
yeah, yeah.
So it is a fantastic idea to add that. And I think that Pokemon would take huge leaps forward if it could just it's just missing a few things. We'll talk about this at another date, as we all know. But it's just missing a few things that are very major.
Polish.
Modding
It's
does
missing
like
it's missing a few things. Let's be fair, it's not missing a lot. It's just that the few things it's missing are so significant.
Polish.
yep.
Polish, voice acting,
Bug
like
testing.
bug testing, like and then graphics. Like there's just a few things. It's not like a slew of issues. It's just very
But
important issues, but that's a
but
different
normally
topic.
where those gaming companies like fail in those kind of aspects, that's where modding comes in of like helping like suit your needs for the game,
Yep.
which is
Yes.
why modding exists in the first place. Of like, hey, this game would be a little bit better if it had this one thing, and someone was like, fine, I'll make it.
Yeah, after
Well,
this, I'm planning
I'll
on.
do it for you.
I'm
Fine, I'll do
I'm
it
planning
myself.
on modding my Switch, and I just got all the DLC for Scarlet and Violet. And fuck it, if I'm gonna play it on the actual Switch, I'm just gonna download the copies that I legally have with the legally bought DLC and play it on PC where it actually runs well.
Yeah.
Correct.
Hmm.
Correct.
Uh-huh.
All right. I think that's gonna do it for this episode. Am I correct or am I wrong? So I'm out of conversation.
I felt
I'm
like
out
we
of topic.
covered. Joey, is there anything else you want to cover?
Oh, Joey, you got more? I'm down, but I'm definitely down. I just
have
don't have
one
anything that
more.
I can think of.
I have
Okay,
one
then
more.
go.
If you
Go for it.
accessibility.
It's a three-way podcast. It's
I was
not
gonna
my
say,
decision. It's all of us.
accessibility modifications, not in the sense of like
Oh,
just
that
even
is a
allowing
good
people to
point.
play. I mean, like also things like even small things of being able to use your freaking controller, like
Yes.
on a
Yeah.
PC game.
Did you
And
see
As
not
what?
well as
and
like
Did you see what Xbox is going to do recently?
yeah.
I missed it. What is it?
Every single controller that's not officially licensed by Xbox is
I'm
going to
already
be
hating
shut
this
down.
conversation. I'm already hating this
Yeah.
conversation. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my.
Hey,
What
guys.
about the freaking accessibility controllers that are literally made so people can play because they can't use a regular controller?
If it's
What
not the
fuck?
one that
Yeah.
Xbox made, you can't use it.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
I know I've said this a lot before, but I don't like Xbox. So.
I mean, I'm kind of in the I kind of hate every single platform at least a little bit. PlayStation.
I don't hate Sony at all.
I hate the controller.
I hate the controller.
I
too.
don't.
It's way too
Really?
small and it breaks a lot.
No,
Way
it's not
Okay,
that
you guys
part.
have bigger hands than I do.
It's way too mushy. It is just like trying to press down
mushy.
on rubber, topped with rubber,
Okay.
topped with whatever kind of
I
molasses.
feel that
they
way
use.
for the sticks. I don't feel that way for the whole controller. I just feel that way for the sticks.
I feel that way for the button.
I think you're wrong.
So the buttons do get like a little bit squid. It sometimes like they just go in all the way too.
Mhm.
And like
But that happens to a lot of controllers. That's not a Sony exclusive.
the Xbox ones are a lot more sturdy.
Xbox
honestly.
ones are a lot
That's
better.
the only thing.
And I would
That's
say
the only thing that I will ever give Xbox.
the
is that they have
Switch is a
some of
lot
the
better
best
as well.
Controllers.
Yeah. And
Okay.
even when
The
it comes
Switch
to
Joy-Cons or the Switch controllers?
Both.
controllers.
Okay, you're on some crack if you think the Joy-Cons are better than anything. The only thing that they have is accessibility to
Clicky
play games.
buttons.
You can't play games.
Clicky
I
buttons.
also don't like. They do have clicking buttons.
I think you're
I
full
do
of
not
shit.
like the. I don't like the joysticks as well for like freaking PlayStation, honestly, because sometimes
Really?
they just.
I
Sometimes
don't
they
like the
wear down.
joysticks. That's really it. But I just don't. Like I'm holding it right now. I don't see what you mean by.
I'm not
As
talking about
someone that has
joysticks. I'm
played-
talking about buttons.
Yeah, I know you.
Joe's talking
What
about
I'm
joysticks.
saying is
I'm talking about. I'm talking
the
about.
buttons are not like. I can hear that nice click.
On the PS5 controller?
Oh, I don't have a PS5. I got a PS4.
The PS5 controller is ass. That's what I'm talking about. The PS4.
I have
the
I have
PS4
no,
controller.
We did not specify. You said Sony in general.
The
I mean,
latest.
fair here,
What
you
is
did
the
not
what is the
specify.
latest
I got-
PlayStation console? Can you tell me that?
That's valid. That is true. It is, well, actually, is it still the
I
PS5
actually-
or
I
didn't they
actually-
just come
I
out with something?
They came out with
I
a
actually have a
PS5 Slim, and the PS5
Mm.
Portal, or the PlayStation Portal, is literally just
Yeah,
a
the
cloud-based thing to play PS5 games
Okay.
on your couch, not even on
So that's not-
like away from
Correct.
home on the go.
I'm not saying that
I-
you're wrong because now
I-
I know which one you're talking about. And I've never held a PS5 controller, so I
But
do
I
not
do
know.
have an Xbox Series X controller right here.
That is a nice, satisfying click.
That
God
I'm
damn,
pressing literally
yeah.
everything. This is literally every button that does this.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's good.
I turn on my Xbox.
I think that as much as I hate Xbox and Microsoft as a whole, I think that Xbox has consistently always provided the top quality controllers on the market.
Yep. The only
I think the only comparison, like the only one that might give it a run, is the GameCube.
The only thing that the Xbox controller is missing, if you're like me and you play first-person shooter games with a keyboard and mouse, or if you use controller, you play it
How do
like
you do
Splatoon.
that? Okay.
It's missing gyro.
Okay.
enough.
So here's a controversial take before we go back to mods. I hate gyro controls in almost every facet.
Do you mean
I think they
do you mean gyro as in Breath of the Wild gyro, where you barely move your controller to slightly aim, or do you mean like waggle controls like the Wii?
I mean gyro like the Wii.
Okay, that's waggle controls. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about gyro,
Okay.
where it's used to slightly move your controller just for that little fine tune bit of aim. You're barely
Thank you for
even moving it.
clarifying that. I appreciate it.
Yes, I know.
I did not know there was a difference.
It's a
There is a
little bit
difference.
harder to aim like with just to freaking stick to the controller every now and then, but like actually using the gyrate will actually, be good. Like
That's
actually aim
interesting to
like you're
know. I
actually
didn't
aiming.
know there was a difference. I did not know.
If you
I
really
mean,
want to go deep into
yeah.
it, watch either I think it's Solar Light's video on playing TF2 with controllers versus Neryl's video on
Hold on, slow down. Neryl and who?
Solar Light
Solar Light TF2
controller.
TF2. Oh, controller.
Yep, there you go.
Cool.
It's one of his best videos, one of my favorite videos of his.
Is it the why controllers don't suck in TF2?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep. And
awesome. What
the
was the other one?
other one is Neryl's video on Nerrel.
Oh, RR.
Yeah,
EL. Okay.
motion controls.
YouTube. YouTube. Nope, that's not what I said. Nope, that's not what I said. No, that's not what I said. Okay. Neville, YouTube, and what was it? Motion controls?
Yes. And remember to watch them
Motion
all the way
controls?
through, because for the Solar Light one, at the beginning he talks about Xbox controllers. But then he moves into like gyro controllers. So
Because
what
I'm a firm believer that Wii controls, like the Wii remote controls, while they were very innovative and good for certain games, ruined a lot of games.
waggle controls are terrible. Nobody wants to shake their hands around. Like Resident Evil 4. Oh
Oh
no,
my
I have to
god.
shake the controllers
No, you're forgetting
rapidly.
the biggest problem was the fucking Star Fox Zero and Skyward Sword.
Skyward Sword,
I,
yes. I'm glad they made a
oh
recent version where you can actually use a joystick to
yes,
control it.
because you can enjoy the game's not bad.
Yeah.
Fuck the people that say it's bad. Like you guys don't know what you're talking about. It's not a bad game at all. You know, you've got two diehard Zelda fans right here that are telling you it is not bad at all. You should play it.
It's
It's
just
the controls from the original game that was dog shit.
yes, using the controls in my stupid baby brain with my like little child
Oh my
limbs.
god.
I remember I broke 2 MacBook Pros playing that game out of frustration.
I remember throwing a Wii remote through a wall.
Yeah.
I mean, back onto the top. I mean, back on the topic. Back to the accessibility. Actually, that I was talking about
Sorry.
too.
Yeah,
You can
Xbox is
also
they're just getting rid of everything.
basically
Controllers?
support for anything that isn't an Xbox controller.
I actually will go back into controllers because there are modified controllers.
Oh yeah.
I was also gonna go into the fact that like a lot of things sometimes don't actually support like changes to the controllers, like
Yes.
in terms of like changing what they freaking do, or well, like would be a better spot for them. So you can actually like mod like what is it freaking called? You can reconfigure how the controller works
Remap.
through mods. Yeah, remap. There we go. Thank you.
Yeah,
It was on the tip
remap.
of my tongue.
There's hardware
I should-
remapping and then there's software remapping, and I know that I've actually gotten a couple of controller mods where they put like pedals on the back to add extra buttons, and then they change the buttons at the top to make it clicky. That's the only way I can play like PS5 games, because I have a PS5 controller where the D-pad and the circle, X, triangle, and square buttons, the face buttons, are all clicky, and it's nice.
It would be nice.
Yes, the only thing is it's expensive. Like with everything where you mod hardware, it's expensive. And hey, if you play Melee, oh my god, I apologize for you, because number one, you have to deal with some toxic fans, and number two, you have to deal with GameCube
Some
controller.
toxic fans.
Yeah. Or if you don't use GameCube
I
controller,
feel bad for Smash 64 fans because fucking the N64 controller.
Yeah.
like
That
hurts.
that's why you
Yeah.
get a different one. There's
Right.
I forget what it's called, retro controllers or something like that. Retro fighters.
Yeah, retro. Yeah, yeah, you got it.
Highly recommend. I have one for the
Yeah,
PS3, and it's a wireless Bluetooth one. Which guess what? It works with it's a modded controller that works with PS2 games on a backwards compatible PS3. Because the PS2 mode on the PS3 doesn't have USB functionality. It sucks.
Yeah.
Ay, ay, ay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, also
Alrighty.
modding your consoles
Yeah.
as well as your
Yes.
like your PCs also are like really great in terms of like replacing with better stuff, putting a bigger hard drive into them, or like
Or listen to
more
me.
fans.
Listen to
Yeah.
me. There's a certain DLC that came out like a while ago that got delisted that you can never play again, and it's got trophies for it, like Little Big Planet 1 and 2. And or the servers are down. Guess what? You can mod your PS3 to get the DLC because they don't sell it anymore. You get the trophies, and guess what? There are fan-made servers which you mod your console to connect to, and oh my god, the modding scene is just so beautiful because games that even back to Pokemon, because we always go back to Pokemon, the Gen 4 and the
Yeah.
Gen 5 games, there's the DNS server trick that you can do to get all of the mystery events again, and they're totally legal. And then for Gen 6 and Gen 7, you can mod your 3DS to
Hold
get
on.
like Pokemon.
You should repeat that for the fans. You should repeat that slowly.
Which part?
That's important. The
That is
the thing
completely legal.
completely legal. Like
Like, they're-
repeat that. You kind of talked over that real quick. I feel like that's an important point.
Guess what? If a
Com-
product isn't sold anymore on your store, then it's completely legal for somebody to get it through other means.
Yep. I think that was an important detail that you glossed over.
Yeah.
That you mentioned, which is an important thing, and I just wanted to give you your credit.
I was talking about when I said legal for Pokemon, I was talking about able to transfer from Pokemon Bank to Pokemon
Yeah.
Home, that type of legal.
Yeah.
And they don't come up as like false mons when you are actually
Yeah.
fucking going to tournaments like that would happen recently.
Yep.
Yep. And then there's also things.
Oh, that's a tragedy, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm well aware because as someone that played in like competitive Pokemon for a bit, there's not really a good way to like test out Pokemon legally without like going on to Pokemon Showdown or not,
Or PK Hex.
or PK Hex. Yeah,
Yes. Shoutouts to PK Hex, shoutouts to PK SM, which is the 3DS thing. I recently used it to transfer a whole lot of Smeargles with legal moves up to Pokemon Home because there's a move dex in that, and I'm a completionist, and I'm masochistic in my completion journey.
understandable.
Yes, and
Yes.
not
you
only
are.
that, I was gonna go into because I talked about Gen 4 and Gen 5 mystery gifts because mythicals, they've been here since Gen 1, and oh my god, are they a bitch to get in their original games.
I mean, I think even Gen 3 has some support for like some mods for that.
Yes,
Actually, now
people are making ISOs of GameCube distribution events or Game Boy Advance distribution events that people can actually enjoy now. Because guess what? I love it when people don't have to have FOMO breathing down their necks because people will support it all throughout the era. That's why I like Halo Infinite, because I don't feel like playing it right now, but at least I know the Battle Pass will be there for years to come.
yeah, literally the same battle pass that you were working on before is still. You can just switch out and like go to North, which is good.
Yes.
Which is really great. You can just work on whichever one you freaking want to.
Yeah. Oh my god. Sorry, I went on a tangent. I am very.
No, it's good.
Oh, hey,
I
good content.
I am very heartfelt on this kind of thing because guess what? I am ADHD or RDHD, which means, hey, guess what? Bright shining thing over here. No, wait, it's over there. No, wait, it's over there. And CPAP, sleepiness. Guess what? No motivation for any of it. So I never
Did
get
you
to.
say? Wait. I think I missed the joke. Did you say you have RDHD?
ADHD. It's autism and ADHD.
I love that. I know. I love that because
Yeah.
I have it as well.
Yes. It means, hey, I get very interested in a very few things, and then everything else just kind of flies by, and it's just like, wait, no, I want to experience that. No, you can't.
I feel like we have talked about this in length. I mean, I feel like
Yes.
mods
I
are
think
good overall. I
yes.
feel mods are good.
I
Yep.
think that it call this episode here.
Yeah.
Uh,
Just wait one more set. Okay, we're at the hour mark. We can call it here.
all right.
Thank you, Joey.
Cool. I think that you guys are gonna really love this Christmas week. It's gonna be a good one. But as always, my name is Mike,
I've been James.
And I have been Joey.
and we will see you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Thanks for listening.
Adios.